Prior to 2024, Kendrick Lamar was already a multi-platinum celebrated artist with critical acclaim, classic albums, and even a Pulitzer Prize under his belt. There had been a debate going on for about a decade about who was the best rapper. And the choices was two rappers and a R&B singer. After the events that took place in 2024, there is no longer a debate about who's the best rapper. Kendrick Lamar has put himself on top by defeating the R&B pop singer who people label as a rapper. And his other adversary just so happened to bow out of the debate. Okay, so now that leads us to where we are right now. This album, GNX, which came as a surprise out of nowhere, but I believe the records were recorded around the same time as the battle records were recorded earlier this year. The album, GNX, I felt like Kendrick was probably listening to the people who critique his music or the people who don't like his music when people said, oh, his music is boring. You know, he puts out music that I fall asleep to. Well, there's no way for you to sleep through this one. You know what I'm saying? Because the energy is up there. It's 12 songs. The energy is up there. The lyrical intensity is up there. The style is up there. You got some R&B soul on there. You have a few of his artists from his label featured on there. You know, it's a project that encompasses where he is right now, the love, the hate, the rhyme schemes, the skills, the style mixed with R&B flavor, a few features from people off his label. I'm going to say this off the rip before I even get to breaking down the songs. I listened to this album twice just to make sure that I didn't miss anything. And with the second time listening to it, I was able to catch a lot of things that I didn't catch that first time when I listened to it. And here goes the breakdown of the records. I didn't listen to it in order, just so people know that. The Dodger Blue record, it has an 80s R&B feel to it, very groovy. You know what I'm saying? Almost swing out-ish type record, almost. But jamming nonetheless. Peekaboo, sounds like something this new generation will latch onto from the hook to the beat. Personally, I didn't like this song. I thought maybe this song shouldn't have made the cut. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't like it. You know what I'm saying? And it's probably the only record on this album that I didn't like. You know, Hey Now has a very similar sound to Peekaboo, but it's a better song than Peekaboo. It's one of those songs that you can hear easily ringing off in every club. You know what I'm saying? It's an anthem. You know what I'm saying? But the last verse from that artist, I would say wasn't needed. Kind of brought the quality of the record down to me. You know, GNX is an offbeat track. And I assume that these artists that are featured on this song are on his label. They obviously young guys, and they all did their thing on it. It's a very offbeat track. When the track starts, it's like, how do you even figure how to rap on this? But they styled on it and they did their thing. Gloria, which is the last song, it's like a R&B melody with a hard ass verse at the end of it. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the records I had to listen to twice. TV Off, another club inspired up tempo West Coast banger that will surely tear the club up. Of course, produced by none other than Mustard on the Beat, ho. You know what I mean? Man at the Garden, slow, soulful, but Kendrick talks about what he feel he deserves for himself. I deserve it all. You know, everything, all the praise, the accolades, the just due. Yeah, he deserves that. You know what I'm saying? Because essentially this song is him speaking from the top of the mountain of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where he is right now. He's at the top. He is the best rapper in mainstream hip hop as it stands at this moment right now. You know what I'm saying? And people have a hard time swallowing that for whatever reason. But the truth is the truth and the facts are the facts. Whacked Out Murals is the very, very first song on the album. Is one of my favorites. I love it because, you know, he come out swinging. You know what I'm saying? And he's talking about everything from people's perception of his fame to people being upset about him performing at the upcoming Super Bowl, to people who he never thought would share his adversaries' diss songs towards him. He addressed everything, you know what I'm saying, in a nutshell. And he said he still got smoke for people. And people don't want that. You know what I'm saying? Squabble Up is the famous record that was featured at the beginning of the Not Like Us video. And, you know, listening to this song in its entirety, you can easily hear how this is going to hit the club like a tsunami. It's definitely a West Coast anthem. Not to mention that the first 7 songs of this album are all on Billboard charts right now. And the album has only been out a couple of days. Luther is a very, very smooth take on If This World Were Mine. Sound like a late night cruise with the windows down with your girl. SZA does her thing on the vocals, makes it a very, very soulful affair, and I like it. These last two are arguably my favorites on this album. The 6th installment of the Heart series. This one flips SWV's Use Your Heart. Smooth flow, refreshing use of a 90s R&B song. Because for so long, we hear people sample records from the 90s and they don't do it no justice. Finally, Kendrick Lamar shows the world how to take a 90s R&B sample and do right by it. And last but not least, man, my favorite record on here. He samples the great Tupac Shakur, Made Niggas. On Reincarnated, Kendrick channels the aggression of Mr. Shakur and releases it in his surefire delivery style over the track. And this is the record that I keep playing on repeat. You know what I'm saying? It has that Machiavelli vibe to this particular song. And I like it. You know what I'm saying? With Kendrick Lamar dropping and having the year that he has had, he has proved himself to be the best rapper in mainstream hip hop today. With this album, because of its appeal, because of its sound, nobody's going to be able to say that this album is boring. You're not going to be able to front on this body of work, especially not after what he just did earlier this year. If I was working at the Source magazine and I was rating GNX, I would give it 4.5 mics. It's definitely going to be on the list for best rap album of 2024. Hey, if you don't like real music, you need to go find out what real music is. Shout out to the people who do know what real music is. Shout out to Kendrick Lamar for putting real rap back in the forefront. I thank y'all for watching. You know what I'm saying? On behalf of the good people at One Man Records and One World Entertainment, I am Cornbread Capone. Peace and love, baby.